Okay. Yes, we are recording. Already we're leaps and bounds ahead of where I was in the last video, if I got the camera on. We're here. We're here for day 7 of delightful lore to go along with the delightful Advent. So for anybody who's brand new, you're just joining us. First of all, I don't know why you would just start at episode 7. That would seem a little odd to me, but I'm the kind of person that would start at the beginning. Whatever, each his own. But if you are just new and joining us, hi, I'm Melissa or Melly from Melly Knits, and together with my husband, Aaron, who's currently, I don't know if you guys can hear it, upstairs on the big homie carting away. We have a side hustle gone wild called Melly Knits, where we make bats for spinners. So we go get raw wool, we're all hand processed all the way through. We wash it here at home, we card it here at home, and then out it goes to all the spinners. So that's what we do in a nutshell. This year we did our first ever Advent, fiber Advent, and it's called the Delightful Advent. It is 12 days, it is 6 fine wool breeds and 6 exotics. And today is day 7. So we've reached the halfway point. The camera is on, we're winning. All right, so here we go, day 7. So first of all, I wanna show you the last day. What was the last day? Oh. This was day 6, this was, the Bond Glow. I'm gonna hold it nice and still so you can see. Okay, I wanna see if the camera is gonna pick up the comparison of the Pure Bond with the Bond Glow. Okay, I wanted to see the shine difference, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able, hold on, I'm gonna hold them real still. Or maybe I'll wave them ever so slightly. Can we see a shine difference? I can in real life. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. But essentially, this is the Pure Bond. Okay, so this is day 5. And then day 6 is the Bond Glow with 20% wild Tessar silk. I love how those look. Now, for those of you who have been discussing or thinking about the option of applying together, and if you were maybe a little bit fearful of like a barber pole, you didn't want barber pole. I like barber pole. I don't mind that. But anyway, these aren't gonna barber pole. They're gonna look a bit more tonal when plied together. I've seen some people who are doing it already. So that kind of initial idea of ply the days together. So when I was thinking this all up, I mean, everyone do what you want. I've been very careful about not making like, this is how you have to do it. But when I was putting this together in my head, the best color story and the best balance in the yarn came from plying each day with its buddy, with its exotic buddy. I'm not doing that because I'm gonna knit mine into essentially like a big sampler that I'm gonna get to bring with me to my shows. So, okay, so just recap, here we go. Day 1 and 2, day 3, merino, and day 4, can she fit them all? Oh, I don't think so. Okay, wait, and then day 5, and day 6. Okay, let's fan them out. This is a giant mess. Can I get them all in? No, we're missing that day. No, that's too hard to do. I need an extra hand. How many times in my life do I need an extra hand? This is one of those times. Close enough. You're seeing it close enough. Oh, we're missing that one on the end. Okay, there it is. There's the vast array of delightful. So far, first half. And as you can't tell, we're heading in a direction with the color. Yes. So now we're going to open up day 7. Day 7. I like having this little juicy bundle in my hand. Feels good. Feels like, what does this feel like? This feels stinking awesome. Like, what a picture. I love it. Oh gosh, and I've seen some pictures of people who have already got all their Advent open or spun. Oh. Okay, here we go. The bag, the day. Day 7. It's coming in a white paper, which means it's coming with a little treat from the Canadian Artisan. And we are featuring, once again, my sister. Okay, I love my sister. So I've said that. I know that that's what, I'm stating before I'm about to say, and I'm not biased, even though I think she's perfect. And I think she's the best, and I think everything that she makes is the best. Without any of that bias, I just say, Oh, it really is. He really is the best. It's not just because she's my sister. She had a lip balm, was day one, the lanolin lip balm. And now we've got the Mountain Spruce Lanolin Soap, handcrafted soap for healing and hydrating. Well, I don't know about you, but I always need to heal and hydrate. So there it is. There's sister's soap. Just a little wee guy. But she always has lots of soaps, lots of lip balms. DM her at mazzahouse_pottery. Oh, okay. Wow, what's that smell? That is. Oh, mountain spruce. Ooh, well, that smells like a mountain spruce. Okay, here we go. This day. This day is called, oh, if I say it, I give it away. Oh, I guess I don't need to, I'm opening it, I can give it away. This is called Feel the Burn. Right? I know. I was so creative with these names, not even funny. Now, how come I have 1 week lock in mine? Do some of you get 1 week lock? Some of you got all 3. There's actually 3. Okay, let me talk. Feel the Burn is local mystery burn pile rescue wool. That's what this is. So it may be odd for some of you, and I certainly hope not disappointing in any way, shape, or form, that I put burn pile wool in the Advent. I can't have an Advent and not have burn pile wool. I couldn't do it. It would be like not being me. So I have thoughts, I have feelings about the burn pile. Big thoughts and big feelings. But look at this. I mean, we are silky, we are smooth. We're gonna talk about this fleece. Where's my 1 week lock? Okay, this was actually, in order to get this to, these fleece were smaller than the rest. So the Advent so far has been single sheep. This one's single flock. There's like three different fellas or ladies or whatever happening in here. So 3 different sheeps. Okay, here's what's going on with the burn pile. Oh, let's show you the lock. And why I would include a burn pile fleece in an Advent where I say we're doing fine wool breeds. Can you just see that? I want to see if I can get that crimp to show. I feel like whenever I use the hand, it's very distracting. I look at all the lines on my hand. That's not what I want to see. I want to see this crimp. Okay, so here's what happened with this fleece. Or do I talk about the burn pile first? Okay, we're gonna talk about this fleece first. So specifically this burn pile wool. Amber from the Northwest Shepherdess, she has a flock of Shetlands that always appear in my shop. If you ever see like Serenity or a Water Lily, or there's a few other ones that I have out there. Recently there was Verily, a really dark one. She was beautiful. Verily? No, that wasn't right. Violet? It was Violet. And she has a Verily too, I think. Okay, anyway, these ones appear in my shop all the time, but she's also a shearer, so she goes around shearing at all sorts of random farms, and she has brought me so much burn pile treasure throughout the years. This being one of the main ones. So this flock is in Bellingham, Washington, and what the farmer knows, I think mostly knows or thinks, is that the ram of the flock either is Merino Rambouillet or is has that as part of its genetics. I don't know if it's just straight up Merino Rambouillet or if it's like Merino, he just knows those 2 breeds are in there. And then the ewes are all mixed. So what we're getting out of this flock, it was striking. Like when it showed up with like a trunk full of this flock's wool, and all of it was super gorgeous, but different from fleece to fleece. And that's gotta be just from the differences in the ewes, because I think it's all one ram. So anyway, this was unusually soft. I've had sheep in the past. Miss Q is one I can think of, who was maybe the softest burn pile I've ever touched. I don't know what she was. That was the one where her and Marshmallow were found by the sheriff. For anyone who's been following me for a while, you'd remember this story. Her and Marshmallow were found wandering down the road, and a sheriff found them and brought them to a local farm. And then Amber again sheared them and brought them to me. Miss Q was like unbelievable, whatever she was. She was probably my first super fine wool I worked with. So then when Amber showed up with these guys, I couldn't believe these were going to be composted. She was just like, they looked too nice, and he was just going to chuck them. So I was just like, can I throw these in my trunk? And he was like, sure. Anyway, So that's how I end up with these fleece. That's actually a way that I end up with a lot of fleece, which is what brings me to my love of burn pile that we're going to talk about next. But just real quick, I think, did I give all the information on this flock, where it is, what it is? That is exceptionally nice. And it came in a bunch of different colors. So this marks the end, I think, of what I have from this flock, because a bunch have gone out into the shop updates already. And then one I sent to the mill that got blended with a bunch of stuff and came back as Lopi. Anyway, oh my gosh, that's way too much talking. Okay, so I'm on my wheel now. Wait, don't like where I am. Are you a good boy? You're a good boy. He hurt his paw today. So he's just over there. He's just gonna recover while I talk. Okay, my love of the burn pile. So I always talk about how Melly Knits was born in the burn pile. It's like super true. There's no better way to say it. When I first started, I was always a knitter spinner since I was like, not a knitter spinner, sorry, a knitter crocheter since I was like a kid. That's like a really noisy bobbin today. Can you guys hear that? Knitter spinner since I was a little kid. Knitter crocheter since I was a little kid, like a kid. And then when I was like, early 30s? How the heck old was I? My cousin, who lives nearby, got a flock of sheep. Like, our family is not farmers. We're not shepherds. Like, we don't have that kind of history. My people are like pretty industrial folks, right? Machine people. So this cousin goes out, he's like, gets this flock of Icelandics, and he got Icelandic specifically because they were triple breed and you could get like milk and wool and meat and all this stuff. And so he was going to raise these Icelandics. Come on, spin for me, baby. There we go. So there we don't go. Always got to be something. I'm just going to keep talking. So he just said to me one day when I was out there looking at the sheep with him, he's like, so you think you can figure out the wool? Like, you got this? And I'm like, yeah, I can probably figure that out. I can figure out, reasonably, right? Just knitter. We can just figure out how to turn things into yarn, make yarn. I think at that point in my life, I was already into like indie dyed. I was already hunting for breeds, maybe a bit. I'd already hit that point, but I hadn't like jumped into the spinning circle yet. So the first thing I ever spun on in my whole life was Icelandic. And I think I did that for about a year and a half. It was just Icelandic sheep and Lopi. Are you serious? You know what it is? It's my leader, which I think is Icelandic, and because I'm going the other way. Stop. We're not looking dumb this video. I'm going to remain calm, cool, and collected, no matter what, while also watching the time. Ugh! Because I'm having calamity. Can you guys hear that? The Carter just went on. I don't know what this video can pick up. If you can, that's so funny. Big Homie is literally directly above my head right now. Okay. Here we go. We're doing this again. Oh, sorry, I'm stinking hot. Okay, this is my Tofino Knit Co hoodie, by the way, that I love, but I am warmer than warm right now. Okay, reset word. Okay, we're gonna spin this time. This time it's gonna work. Let's go. Oh. Awesome content, always, always. Let's go. Where the heck was I in my story? So Icelandic was the first year and a half of what I did. And then, on earth did I get into burn pile? You know what it was? I think it was a shearer, another local shearer. And then also watching Facebook Marketplace. So I would just go on to Facebook Marketplace, and I live in an area where like I'm pretty urban, but there's farms adjacent to me. Like I'm right in the middle of like a pretty busy city area, but there's all these adjacent farms and whatever else. And I would look, and there'd just be people who were like, oh, here's 8 bags of wool that we're gonna throw on the side of the road. Whoever wants to come get them. And I would hustle out there and go get them. Because I got, like most people do, completely addicted to processing wool, to like spinning and kind of the magic of trying all the new breeds and stuff, but wasn't invested to the point where I was gonna start buying fleece at like crazy prices per pound for Coated Wonder and Majesty. Didn't really build up to that. So burn pile for me was a way of like getting my feet wet, learning processing. At the time, I didn't realize that like, and maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it was a good thing I didn't know this, that I was actually starting with maybe the most extreme category, because like now when I work with coated wools and like wools that are grown, fiber flock kind of stuff, and not just like compostable meat sheep flock, you know what I'm saying? I feel very spoiled. I feel like it's a treasure. I feel like it's very easy, because where I started was like burrs and like crazy amounts of crusty dirt and things that aren't skirted. So like actually tons of poo. Like when you buy a fleece from a fiber farm, they don't ship you poo. No one's shipping poop. Like that would be like, because you're paying by the weight. But if you're just picking up dumpster fleece from the side of the road, yeah, that stuff is full of who knows what. Things are crawling out of it. It's like intense. It's super intense. And that's where I started. So gosh, now I feel like I can clean anything. But it did make me fall in love with the burn pile. I fell in love with the mysterious aspect of it, because you never really know what it is you're working with. So if you like it, tough luck. Because I can't just be like, oh, I want to find that again. I really love this breed, because you don't know what this breed is. And a lot of the times it's a genetic melting pot of a bunch of different breeds. Anyway, that was what we did for probably the first year of when we opened Melly Knits. We had burn pile all over the place, burn pile in everything. And people would drop off these like hilarious, once the word got out that we would work with gross wool, well, we had gross wool showing up all the time. I'd come home and there'd just be like 3 black garbage bags at my back door. To this day, there's some wool that's been dropped off that I'm really not sure how they knew where I lived or who did it. But I would get like these drops and these deliveries. Only out of every drop and delivery I've had, there's only been 2 I didn't work with. There's only been 2 that I was like, nope, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. That just gave me many, many diseases. I'm not working with that. And to be fair, I've had that happen twice as well with fiber flock. So that doesn't speak against the burn pile. Anyway, I have a love affair with this, partially due to nostalgia, partially due to like, it was what I learned on. The mysterious element, the availability. If you actually just start looking around, like burn pile is way more available than you would think. And there's a lot of farmers out there and shepherdesses that like, they raise wool, they raise sheep for meat, and then they don't really know what to do with the wool, and maybe it's not worth it to them to just send 3 or 5 things to the mill. Or maybe I know a lot of shepherds who don't knit and like or spin, and so they're in it because they've got other animals. Or anyway, all that to say is a lot of the times taking it is solving a problem too. But regardless, if you're at all into major before and afters, like if you're someone who watches home renovation TV shows or something like that, this is literally like the HGTV where they walk into the house and everything's like orange and like shag carpet, and there's like weird walls everywhere and like strange stuff going on. And they're like, you know, but the bones are good. If we just like get rid of all this and throw some white paint on the walls and they show you again, you're like, oh, I can't believe they did that to that space. Well, that's like the experience with every burn pile fleece, every single one. There's like layers of crusty dirt and nasty that you have to get through. And then when you do, the bones are so good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not been cared for the same way that the fiber flock has been cared for, because obviously those people are raising specific genetics, specific ways. They're grabbing specific fleece from the herd and breeding things with this and breeding things with that to like get a result. And burn pile wool, the wool was never the focus. It was always just the afterthought. It's the hygiene. It's it must be sheared because sheep grow it, but they're not in it for the wool. Anyway, all of that to say, to summarize, because I am watching the time, burn pile had to be in the advent. And this one was the perfect candidate to go in, because this to me is a fine wool. I'm going to say it's more on the medium side of a fine wool, but it is soft. We've worked with so much from this flock, and it's just absolutely beautiful. What is it? I don't know. We can sort of question mark around Merino and Rambouillet, but like really, that's all we even sort of kind of know about this fleece. And therein lies the really fun, mysterious, beautiful, fun part of it. I said fun twice because I'm full of adjectives today, where you take something that arrives unwanted and grody to a degree. And if you're willing to give it TLC, oh, come on. If you're willing to give it TLC, if you're willing to show it some love and wash it and pick all the things out, this one really wasn't that bad, actually. These ones were pretty good. No diseases were given from this wool. You end up with this just absolutely beautiful, I'm gonna say high value product that's like, can stand on its own in an advent that's filled with like the Gucci of the sheep world. In an advent that's filled with like the top quality, someone out there is putting so much intention into their breeding and into the fleeces that they provide. And then you've got this like hilarious, unknown, unseen, accidental kind of just byproduct sort of fleece that's like sitting sort of in the middle. And I don't know, there's something romantic to me about that. There's something just poetic AF about that. There's something resourceful about that. It's precious. It's very precious. And I don't think that one needs to devalue the other necessarily. Like, I think that we can have space in the spinning world for both. I think that there can be appreciation for mystery burn pile wools, and we can also at the same time gasp and be in awe of these ones that are like just spectacular, like you've seen in this advent. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. So, aside from having to try and restart my spin 11 times, we got there. This is probably the most uneventful. Geez, I hope it's not boring. Like, you guys are gonna be so used to my calamities and explosions now that you're gonna be like, well, hold on, nothing happened to her this episode. She didn't end up looking like a complete idiot. No, actually I didn't. Shoot, no. I'm not gonna start doing Dr. Professor again because we know what happened after I did that. Okay, I think that's it for me. I showed everything. We've got all the days. We've got this beautiful burn pile that we're spinning through, soft and squashy and luscious and lovely. Sisters, amazing soap. And I will see you guys back here for day 8 when this will arrive blended with something. Ooh, what's it gonna be? You'll find out. See you in 2 days. Kisses, goodbye.